welcome back to XOXO Clarina. Happy 3 weeks out from Valentine's Day. Alright, so this video is going to be part 1 of a 5-video series type of thing that I'm going to be doing for Valentine's Day. The schedule for these videos, the first video will go up today when you're watching this, January 29th on Monday, and another video will go later this week on Wednesday. Next week I'll have another video on Monday and then Wednesday, and then the week after that, the last video of the series will be on Monday because Valentine's Day is on Wednesday. The first 4 are going to be like gift ideas, and these can be for boys or girls, which I think is really great. I think a lot of times we find mostly girly gifts, and most of these are things that I have given to Alex, so you can kind of tailor it to whoever you want. The last video is going to be about being in a long-distance relationship on Valentine's Day, things you can do, gifts you can give, kind of ways to cope with that, because Alec and I will be doing that. We are long-distance, and pretty much any of the gifts that I talk about making over the next 3 weeks you'll be able to send in the mail anyways. Over the next couple of weeks I have this big box of stuff, so I've got all the gifts and things that we're going to be doing in this box, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. So let's get started with this one. The first project that I'm going to share with you today doesn't really have a name. It's something that I created and made up by myself. When Alec and I are referring to it, we just call it the QR code box because that's kind of what it is. So what I have here is an iPhone box, an empty one that I painted kind of a really crappy paint job. This was only our first year anniversary gift, and it's taped on this one side so it won't come apart. So you open it, and when you open it, it is full of all these little pages. I'll walk you through pretty quickly how I did this today, but basically each page has a QR code and a date on it, and each date corresponds to a timeline. So I basically did a timeline of our first year together, and I made a whole website, and each of these QR codes send you to a page with pictures and photos and a story of why that day is special in our first year of our relationship. It's a really cool looking project. I had a lot of fun with it, and it's all of his favorite colors. His favorite color is blue, so I just used a bunch of different blues for the project. I really like that it's an accordion style and it has different colors of blue, so it's kind of like a fading effect every time you look at it from side to side. But this is just a really cute gift for an anniversary or whatever other kind of holiday, a Valentine's Day if you would. And I thought it was really creative. I'm going to show you guys how to do it today. Alright, so the first thing that I did is I made a Weebly account. Some of you may already have it. It's a really, really simple, easy, free website maker to use. So you sign up for free, you can do your website for free. It just won't give you a domain that says whatever and then .com. It will be weebly.yourname.com. I just named mine for Alec, so F-O-R-A-L-E-C, and it's a Weebly website, and it was really fun to make. So I basically made a homepage and described what I was doing with this project. So when he looks back on that homepage, it will describe everything that was there and why it was there. And then I have a button that says timeline. So this is kind of almost like a blog page, but I made it so that that tab had all the dates underneath it.
Alright, so I've created that example that you see up there. I'm just going to do another one so that you can see how it's done. So you can see I have all the dates here laid out in the example that you see currently. To add a page, you just click on that plus button and standard page. And then we're just going to title this example number 2. And you can see that that automatically shows up on that home bar. So it says home, timeline, example, and example number 2. To add the pages underneath that, that's the tricky part, maybe. Add another standard page and name it what you want it to be. So your date number 1, date number 2. And that automatically is also added to the home page. The way that you put it underneath the example number 2 is you're going to pull that just a little bit to the right so that it's sitting underneath the example 2. And now you can see it shows up underneath example 2. And then you would just continuously do the same thing for the rest of the dates. So date number 2, adding that as a standard page. And then date number 3, also adding that as a standard page. and then you just do the same thing for each one. You're going to pull them so that they're just a little bit to the right, but they're all still lined up. And then when you hover over example number 2, which I should do in a second, you can see all the dates. Just like when I hover over a timeline and click on a date, it will show you the pictures and the writing. You just click on that date underneath there, and it's going to give you kind of a blank canvas to work with. So you can draw elements from the left side, like a text box, a title thing, an image, and you basically make this look however you want to look.
I just think it's really, really cute. You could honestly just stick with the website, but I wanted to add a whole nother layer onto this project to make it really cutesy. Alright, the next thing I did was made QR codes for each date of the website. I used the website qrstuff.com, so that's qrstuff.com. What I like about that website is when you plug in the website, it gives you a QR code, and you can change the color of this if you want. So the background will be white, and if you didn't want this to be black, you can make it navy blue, hot pink, purple, green, whatever you want it to be. So after this QR code had been saved, I saved it into my computer. There's a button that will easily enable you to do that. And once I saved it into my computer, I added the date to it so that I would remember which one. So instead of it being image_75000693, it's going to say July 31st. From there, I took each of the QR codes and I added them to a Word doc. So I put them in order of the dates so that I wouldn't mess it up, and I took that QR code, added it into Google Doc until I had about 12 QR codes per page. After that, the process was pretty simple. I printed out the pages, make sure that I kept the QR codes in order. I cut them out in the little squares that they have, and I just pasted them onto the paper and wrote the date above it. The cool thing about technology in these days is you don't really have to have one of those QR reading apps. You just can open Snapchat, so that's what I had Alec do. I said, hey, open Snapchat, and if you just hold the Snapchat app over the QR code and press and hold down, it will come up with what link this is. The folding technique that I use for these papers is just a simple accordion fold. I'll show you guys a little bit about how I folded these because I basically connected them in the back with a little piece of excess that connected the one to the other. But it's just a simple accordion fold, so I folded the paper back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and so on until I had all of this. Now this accordion fold you can put into any little box, maybe something you go and find at the dollar store, a little book, a booklet, maybe even a scrapbook. What I did is I just took this empty iPhone box because I like the way that it was sturdy plastic, and I painted the top of it like I mentioned in the beginning, and I just glued it right into here. If you have any questions or comments on how I did this project, suggestions if you're going to try to use a different technique, if you're having any trouble with the websites that I have linked down below today, just let me know in the comments bar and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I think this is one of the cutest gifts that I've given him because he can continue to look back at that website for the rest of our relationship and look at those landmarks that were so special to us within that first year. Thank you all for watching today. I hope that you're getting excited for Valentine's Day and excited to do things for your friends and your family and everybody that you love. Thank you so much for watching. I love making videos for you guys. If you have any video suggestions, things you want to see, anything else you want to tell me, just leave it in the comments bar. I love you all so much, and I hope that you're having a wonderful, amazing day. See you next time.